Hello everyone. So before this video begins, I just want to mention that I'm testing out some new mics today. These are Rode Go Wireless 2 mics. I got these as a gift for Christmas not too long ago from my father, and I just wanted to try them out for this new video. Just to see how it sounds. I've tested it earlier. I thought it sounded pretty great, but please let me know in the comments what you think my mic sounds, because I just wanted to test them out and see if you guys liked it or not. Like the sound quality a lot better than just me shouting at the GoPro camera that I'm using for this video. Anyway, let's talk about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now, as I stated in my last video, yeah, I basically had zero hope for this movie being any good. And usually when it comes to reviewing stuff, as a reviewer myself, I try to make it my mission not to peek at anybody's reviews or like watch anything or read critic scores online when it comes to movies like this that I want to watch in the theater. So that's usually a rule I try to follow for every movie that I want to see in the theater. But for this movie, I kind of cheated a little. I saw the review scores, especially on Rotten Tomatoes, and they were not looking very favorable. However, I tried not to think about that because the audience score was pretty high, so maybe, just maybe, this movie might be good. And, you know, you have to consider that maybe sometimes you just might be in the wrong when it comes to movies you're looking forward to see, or movies you're not looking forward to see, such as this case. But when the top 3 YouTubers on the platform are giving faces like this, it can kind of set your expectations a little low. The reason I'm bringing this all up is because when I was walking into the theater, I kind of forgot about my negative expectations for this movie and just went in with a completely open mind. So everything that I say in this video from here on out is my honest opinion. I'm just going to put that on the record right now. Everything I say in this video is stuff I've written down, thoughts I've put from my head that I've written down on paper, and they're 100% mine. So, what's the premise for the Super Mario Galaxy movie? Well, to start with, it goes something a little bit like this, and I really have to get into specifics here in regards to this plot summary, and some people might think I'm spoiling. Trust me, I'm not. There's a whole section in this video where I'll be getting into spoilers. That'll be much later though, but I'll let you know when that happens. So, the plot of the Super Mario Galaxy movie goes something like this. Rosalina, the princess of the galaxy, gets captured by Bowser Jr. in his Mega Leg machine, and he takes her, and then he attacks the Comet Observatory, and then one of the Lumas from the Comet Observatory escapes. Meanwhile, back in the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario and Luigi are out being brothers, and they're out biking to the Sand Kingdom from Super Mario Odyssey, and they find a pipe where the beloved green dinosaur Yoshi is out hiding, and apparently he's scaring residents. Then later we learn that it is Peach's birthday, and she's celebrating her birthday in the Mushroom Kingdom, but she's busy wondering where she came from. But then, during her birthday, a shower of stars comes across the sky, and one of the bigger stars in the sky happens to be the escaped Luma, and he falls and crash lands onto the ground. Peach, Mario, and Luigi manage to rescue the Luma, and then once the Luma has recovered, they tell Peach that their mama, Princess Rosalina, has been captured. And this basically is what sets off the movie. Peach goes off to find Rosalina to rescue her, to learn more about her past. Meanwhile, Mario and Luigi are left to take care of the Mushroom Kingdom, and they only go off into the galaxy when the plot calls for it. Now, before I get into the negatives that I have for this movie, let's talk about the positives and the things that I really, really loved about this movie. Those being the animation and the soundtrack. The animation in this movie, hands down, it is gorgeous. All the colors, the lights, even the darkness, the way everything looks in this movie, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Illumination, you can tell by watching this movie, put in all the stops when trying to make this movie look as beautiful as possible. And that gorgeous animation, when paired with the soundtrack, whew, that soundtrack is amazing. The composer, Ryan Tyler, killed it with the soundtrack for this movie. And I especially love his orchestral rendition of the Comet Observatory's soundtrack, which is one of my favorite soundtracks from the Super Mario Galaxy game. So yes, this movie looks and sounds beautiful. The last thing I'll talk about that I like for this movie is the first act of this movie. I thought the first act of this movie was pretty solid. It's well paced. It shows that Mario and Luigi have a strong relationship as brothers. Peach's motive is one that you can get behind because it was referenced in the first movie, and you want to cheer her on and hope that she finds her relatives. I would say also the action scenes in this movie are pretty good. They're pretty entertaining for what they are, and they're cool to watch. And that's about it in regards to positives that I have for this movie. Let's get into the stuff I really didn't like. Now, before I get into my problems with this movie, I just want to say that that first act of the movie was really good. And for a moment there, it gave me a feeling that maybe this movie would actually be good because it really is well set up. Like I said, Peach's motive is interesting. You care about her. You want her to find out where she came from, find out about her past. But also, the Mario Brothers, when they're looking after the Mushroom Kingdom while she's gone, they're pretty fun to watch too, especially with Yoshi helping them out. So basically, Peach just leaves the Mushroom Kingdom in the Mario Brothers' hands, and the whole scene where they're taking care of problems in the Mushroom Kingdom, it feels like you're watching a Mario game happening in a movie. Like every task that they have to do, every trouble they have to clean up, every mishap that occurs, is presented like a little level on a world map screen, something like from something, say, out of Super Mario World. And it's really cool because it'll show the dot, and then it'll show what Mario and Luigi are doing, and then it shows them complete the task, and then there's a little flag that pops up that says that they've completed it. It was brief, but it was really good, and I really liked how clever it really was. I'm saying this because past that scene is when its problems really start to happen. Now, usually when I give a movie review, I talk about the aspects of the movie and what I liked and didn't like. But for this video, I want to start with something a little different. I want to talk about the first point from my Super Mario Galaxy movie predictions video about the new characters, because it was actually kind of surprising in regards to who did what in the movie and what role they serve in the movie and how much I actually like them. First of all, Yoshi in this movie, despite having an odd casting choice in my opinion, was actually kind of fun. Yes, there are real Yoshi noises put in the movie, especially when they show his backstory of how he got from the egg in the end credit scene of the first Mario movie into the Mushroom Kingdom now. And it's really hilarious and entertaining. And throughout the rest of the movie, Yoshi's pretty fun to watch, and he's entertaining and very likable. Bowser Jr., I know I said I didn't like his voice casting, but as the movie went on, his voice kind of grew on me. I'll admit, Benny Safdie as Bowser Jr. wasn't that bad. And Bowser Jr. as a character, he's not that bad either. You can kind of get behind his motives for why he's doing what he's doing in the movie. And especially his relationship to his father Bowser was kind of touching. But I would say the biggest disappointment for a character was Rosalina. I still like Brie Larson as a choice for Rosalina. And when she talks in the movie, I think she sounds pretty good, and Rosalina has a good voice. Notice I said when she talks, because Rosalina barely does anything in this movie. She is sidelined so hard in this movie. Like, she has her moments in the beginning, and there's like a few brief instances where she fights some of Bowser Jr.'s minions. But other than that, she's just stuck in a cage in Bowser Jr.'s fortress for the rest of the movie, getting her power all drained out. And it was really kind of disappointing as I was watching the movie, just seeing her sit there and do nothing. But besides all the new characters that are introduced in this movie, there are some characters that I feel like were really ruined in this sequel. Like, for example, Kamek. In the first movie, he's meant to be this comedic sidekick to Bowser, who like plays off of him, and in that movie he's funny. In this movie, he just kind of comes across as annoying, and every time they try to have a funny moment between him and Bowser Jr., it just comes across as like unfunny, and it just feels kind of dull, and it's more like a putz. Now, staying on the subject of villains, I want to talk about Bowser for a second, because he has his moments in this movie. He's funny. Like in the beginning of the movie, when he's Tiny Bowser, he's really funny. But there's a moment in the movie where he gets big, and as soon as he gets big, like, he's funny for a little bit, but then, I don't know, something just is wrong with the writing for his character. Like, during the movie, in the beginning, it's mentioned that he's doing, like, therapeutic sessions with Luigi, and the movie tries to have this moment where Bowser's having a little bit of a conflict with himself. Like, does he want to be nice to the Mario Brothers for the way they've treated him in this movie and the way they've taken care of him? Or does he want to go back to being evil and fighting them? And the movie tries to have Bowser struggle with this conflict, but it never goes anywhere because Bowser Jr. just kind of talks to him a little bit, and then Bowser's feeling conflicted one scene, and then the next scene he just switches and he's pure evil all the way. And it's really disappointing because that could have been interesting. Like, I was kind of wondering, like, oh, is Bowser going to be good? Is he going to be bad? Well, he has to be bad somehow, so how does he end up being bad? But no, he's just straight up bad. There's no build up to it. you don't see it happen on screen. It's off screen, and then boom, he's bad. So now that we've dealt with the characters, let's talk about the actual story of this movie, if you can call it a story. The movie itself was like a series of subplots that are just happening all at once, and they're either resolved rather quickly or they're resolved off screen, like I say with Bowser. I would say Peach's subplot of finding her family would be like the main plot, but in and of itself, it feels like a subplot, especially to me, because this is a Super Mario Galaxy movie, and this should be about Mario, because his name is in the title. But I guess Peach's subplot was probably the most interesting and the one you could get behind, so maybe that's why some might see it as the main plot. But yeah, there's subplots everywhere happening all at once, and in regards to what the actual plot might be, I can summarize it as just a bunch of rapid-fire events that just happen in succession, and then it just move on to the next scene. Like, it happens like this. So like Peach goes off to find her relatives, and then Bowser Jr. attacks the castle, and then that sends Mario into the galaxy, and then back to Peach, and then this happens, that gets resolved, and then this happens, and then that gets resolved, and then we move on to the next event, and that happens, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. And by the time you start noticing that pattern, the movie's half over. And this is probably why the pacing in this movie is so rushed, because this movie never takes time to stand still. It is just jumping from scene to scene without giving you any moments to just breathe and just take in what is actually happening. And it was really frustrating, and I had a hard time just figuring out what is going on, who's doing what's happening, and where this story was actually going. Because of the quick pacing that this movie has, this means that the whole majority of this movie is plot-driven. And what I mean by that is that things just happen in this movie, and then that keeps the story going. If it was character-driven, meaning a character's choices or actions influence and cause the plot to go forward, I'd be saying a different thing about this movie. But nobody does anything to push the movie forward. You could probably say Peach does some things that drive the story forward, but even then, it's too distracting, because by that point, you've noticed all the issues with this movie, and nothing in this movie feels like a character is pushing the story forward. Like, anything they do is causing this plot to progress, or the movie's going somewhere. Things just happen, especially because they have a lot of subplots regarding the characters too. Like Luigi, for example, has this subplot where he has to get over his fear. Mario has a subplot where he wants to confess his feelings for Peach, because Mario and Peach have a romance in the game, so they've got to put that in the movie somehow, despite what Nintendo says. Please ignore that. Even then, those subplots, either the plot causes them to be resolved. Like, take Luigi, for example, and his subplot of fear. What should happen, you think, in this movie, like when it comes to Luigi overcoming his fear? Like, he should have a moment where he chooses to take courage. Do you think that's what happens in this movie? No, of course not. Something happens, and then Luigi takes the opportunity provided by the plot, and he gets courage. I know I'm waving my hand there, just ignore it. That's a spoiler section. I want to get into that later, like I said. Even when you think there could be a moment where a character can do something to get him or his companions out of a sticky situation, because that's what happens a lot in this movie. Characters will get in a sticky situation, you're wondering, oh no, how are they going to get out of this situation? And then something happens, and boom, they're out of there. Nothing happens because a character does something. It's all random chance and happenstance, and that's what is propelling this movie to go forward. And it's why the pacing in this is so lightning fast. And as a result, there's no character growth. Characters aren't given a chance to grow or develop into different people by the end of the movie, and everything that the film tries to do in terms of character development feels so forced. Especially with Luigi. It feels forced when he's suddenly becomes this courageous person. Like, we should have had a natural development to when he gets courageous, or a moment where he decides to be brave, but that never happens in the film. Now let's talk about references here, because there's two kinds of references in this movie. There's the good references, which are eye candy for all the Mario fans to see in this movie. Like, for example, various enemies that Mario fights and encounters in the games. There's a couple planets you could see here and there that remind you of a level from the Super Mario Galaxy games. But then there are those bad references, and by the time I see what those bad references are, it makes me wonder if this is actually a Super Mario Galaxy movie or something else. Because the first half of the movie, the first act, is like pretty good. I like the first act. It's solid. Then you start progressing, and then it starts to get a little messy. You notice there's some problems there, and then a character appears in the movie, and it goes downhill from there. I was left sitting there wondering, what is happening? At some point, it just stops being a Super Mario Galaxy movie, and it feels like this movie has an agenda all of its own. Like it's trying to accomplish something other than give fans a Super Mario Galaxy movie. The appearance of that character is so shoehorned in this movie. It feels like Illumination is trying to force something to happen in the future. And it was so distracting, and I couldn't understand why he was in this movie. Like, cool inclusion. I could see him doing something else, but I don't understand why he was in this movie other than for one reason, and one reason alone. I could see it even in the ending fight scene, that as cool as it was, it just felt like it was trying to do something else other than have a grand finale fight. And if you're wondering why I'm being so vague, well, this is the reason why, because I have to get into spoilers now. I've mentioned everything that I've tried to do without spoiling, so now I really have to get into spoilers. So, if you want to avoid spoilers, I'm going to leave a time code on the screen right now, so you can click on that time code right now to get into the non-spoiler section of this video, and that's where I'll have my grade and final thoughts. But if you've seen the movie already, and chances are you already have, then go ahead, press on, because I'm going to get into the really nitty-gritty stuff of this movie, the heavy spoilers ahead. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about that one character that I felt was shoehorned in this movie, and that is Fox McCloud. Are you kidding me? Out of all the references you could have in this movie, this was the one character that Illumination decided to put in this film. What does he do in the movie? He's plot convenience, because he's a pilot in this movie, and he's getting Peach and Mario at this point, who's found her now at this section of the movie, and he gets them from wherever they are in their little galaxy to another galaxy that they have to get to in order for the plot to progress. Do you see why I'm frustrated now? His inclusion just feels so forced, and there's a moment in this movie where Mario and Star Fox lock eyes, and you feel like, oh, they could have a real battle here, like a smash battle or something.
Hey, Haywood here to give a brief editing note in case anyone was wondering. I have nothing against the Star Fox franchise or Fox McCloud as a character. I have never played a Star Fox game before, but it looks like a cool game franchise. In fact, just recently, Nintendo put out a special presentation not too long ago to announce and show a new Star Fox game that they are releasing on the Nintendo Switch 2. And in that presentation, they showed off Fox's intro scene from the Super Mario Galaxy movie to introduce the game. That's cool and all, but it further proves my point on why I think Fox is a terrible choice for a reference in this movie, because now he's not just a random character from a separate franchise thrown in there to appeal to fans. He's an ad for a game in a movie that's not even about Fox McCloud. If Nintendo really wanted to, they could have just teamed up with Illumination, or a better animation studio, honestly, to make a Star Fox movie and then use that movie to promote the game, not a cameo in a Mario movie. Anyway, back to the review.
And I thought his inclusion was going to be the worst and most offensive thing about this movie. No, there's actually more to it. There's a brief scene including Pikmin. It's one of those rare Easter eggs that you just see it and you notice it. It's like, huh, they're there in this movie. That's interesting. And then another character appears earlier before Fox, and it's Rob. And what's his purpose in the movie? Literally get characters to where they need to go, what ship they need to find. And at first he's funny, and he has one joke in this movie, but by the time they kept repeating the joke, it just kind of got tiresome. Fox and Rob are not characters in this movie. They are plot conveniences to get the characters from point A to point B in order to progress the film. Do you see why I'm saying this is plot-driven and not character-driven? It is so rushed. It is so forced into this movie. As a Mario fan myself, I felt betrayed. I wanted a Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now I'm getting a Smash Bros. Setup movie, which is exactly what the ending of this film is. The whole fight scene, literally, it's dry Bowser with Bowser Jr., who's still high on paint throughout this entire film, and except now he's high on fire. They fight Mario and Luigi, and throughout this whole fight, they're using items. Like, Mario gets like a ice flower, Luigi gets Bowser's paintbrush, which is his courage moment, and Yoshi turns blue because he gets an item too, and then out of nowhere pops Mr. Game & Watch, another random Smash Brothers reference for out of nowhere. And all of this whole ending fight scene, it felt like Illumination was begging Nintendo to let them make a Smash Brothers movie. That's what it felt like. It didn't feel like a fight to wrap up the Super Mario Galaxy movie. It felt like a plea on Illumination's part I could see them begging the heads of Nintendo saying, please, Nintendo, let us make a Smash Brothers movie. We can do it. You see this? We're capable of making a Smash Brothers movie. We want to do it. Please, just let us make a Smash movie. No! I don't want you to make a Smash Brothers movie. I wanted a Super Mario Galaxy movie, not some random setup for a project you want to do in the future. I just wanted to see Mario and Luigi and Yoshi fight Bowser and Bowser Jr. in a movie called Super Mario Galaxy movie. And the fight has to be a summation of everything that's happened in the galaxy. That doesn't happen at all. Every problem I've mentioned in this movie, pacing, subplots that go nowhere, all of this I feel like is part of Illumination's end goal to get a Smash Brothers movie made. After seeing this movie, I don't want Illumination to make a Smash Brothers movie. Everything I've seen in this movie, it just feels rushed and forced into the story, and I can't get behind a Smash Brothers movie made by Illumination. My point is, this movie barely felt like a Super Mario Galaxy movie at all. It felt mostly like a Super Smash Brothers movie set up stepping stone. Like, this Galaxy movie was just one stop towards Illumination's end goal to make a giant crossover Smash Brothers movie featuring all the Nintendo characters that you love in that movie, and they're all fighting for who knows what reason they come up with if they get a chance to make it. Not if, I should say when. You know what this whole setup for our big crossover event feels like? It reminds me of this movie. You remember this movie? I talked about it on my channel. Everything in this movie is just a setup for a giant crossover film between a whole bunch of characters. And even when the crossover movie happens, they have to explain a lot of stuff for why the characters are there and how they got there. Even in the good version of this movie, which you should watch instead of the other version of this movie that the studio put out. But you see what I'm saying here. It's comparable to that, only I feel betrayed because I just wanted to see Galaxy. Like, show us the Galaxy. There's so much of the Galaxy you could have explored. Like, I could have seen Mario fighting Bowser Jr. on airships. I could have seen Mario fight Megaleg. I could have seen him fight large beetles in the Honey Hive Kingdom, which, by the way, the Honey Hive Queen is in this movie, but she's out of character. Instead of being a gentle and nice character in the game, she's this mean and very touchy sort of queen who's offended when her lilies get smashed in the movie. By accident, of course, because Bowser Jr. dropped Peach's castle on that planet when trying to rescue his father. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me talk about one other spoiler about this movie that I think I'm having questions about. Like, it kind of works in the movie, but at the same time, I'm a little confused by it. So at the end of the movie, when Peach manages to rescue Rosalina, and yes, you heard me right, Peach is the one who does the rescuing, not Mario. Peach finds out that Rosalina is her sister, and that she has the ability to create stuff on this planet, and she manages to get Rosalina out. And the movie ends with Peach and Rosalina, they combine forces, and they turn Bowser Jr.'s lava planet into a green paradise. Essentially, it's Moana. No, I'm not kidding. Bowser Jr.'s lava castle gets turned into a green paradise. It's literally Moana! On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give the Super Mario Galaxy movie a 3. So yeah, I really hate to disappoint you all. I'm not trying to make anybody mad in this review. This is my honest opinion. I really think the Super Mario Galaxy movie it's a bad movie, and it's disrespectful towards the Mario fandom. I myself love the Super Mario Galaxy game. I'm gonna play it after I finish this review, but everything in this movie just felt wrong. I didn't feel respected as a Galaxy fan, which is like my favorite Mario game now. I didn't feel like my time was warranted. Even the inclusion of some random characters in there that are just in there for plot's sake, they too, I'm just, I can't take it anymore. I'm rambling at this point, but who am I kidding? This movie's making money at the box office. Everyone's going to go see it. But if you watch this video and you have not seen the movie yet, just don't bother. It'll come out on Netflix. Illumination loves to put their movies out on Netflix. Just watch it then. Save yourself some money. Anyway, folks, that is my review for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Let me know what you think of the Super Mario Galaxy movie yourself. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it like I did? Also, let me know how this mic works, because I have been using my voice off and on again. I've been trying to stay a little low to stay quiet. If you enjoyed this review, or maybe a rant, you can hit the like button down below. If you want to see more content, you can hit the subscribe button. I have a whole playlist dedicated to other movie reviews and discussions on this channel. And I will see you in my next video. So stay tuned, everyone.